Welcome to the Radio Horror Review Show. If you can see behind me, we are talking about a Norwegian horror movie, Katie the Blonde in Front of Fear. And she picked this film out, and I was like, oh, this looks cool. Or I came to her, I don't know how we came about in this movie, but it's new on Netflix, and it's good. And it's a werewolf movie that's pretty decent with the effects, CGI notwithstanding, but I give it all for like, hey, werewolf transformation, good on you. And it looks like a werewolf and not a vampire with a bad overbite, which is the joke we were making ahead of time. If you watch Supernatural, you know what I'm talking about. Supernatural fans, don't come at me about this. I'm 100% right, and every Supernatural fan should agree with me. Werewolves on that show were terrible, but werewolf in this movie, fantastic. It's a it's good. It's got its bad in it, I think, too. But overall, I do recommend this movie. My boss at work, where I work in corporate of giant retail store chain, recommended this movie. He's like, "Hey, I watched a movie that's a Chris movie." I'm like, "What is that supposed to mean?" He's like, "Oh, it's a werewolf movie. You should watch it." I'm like, "Oh, okay." um, so the next day, I wore my werewolf T-shirt to work.
Nice.
Yeah. Because I can't wear skulls in corporate offices, but I can wear werewolf shirts. Go figure. Don't ask me. Anyway, we're here to talk about Viking Wolf. More wolf than Viking, by the way.
Yes.
Just gonna point that out. Don't come here expecting a lot of Viking stuff. Come here for the werewolf.
Yes. So Viking Wolf, and I'm going to be looking at my phone because all of these names are from Norway, Sweden area, and I know I'm going to butcher them, so I apologize, but I just want to make sure I'm looking at them correctly. Viking Wolf, directed by Stig Svensson, written by Espen Auken and Stig Svensson, and starring Liv Mjolnir as Liv Berg, Ellie Renan Mueller Osborne as Talberg. Let's see. There's not actually too many people. Chir Vatna Breen as Eunice Larson, and Vidar Magnuson as Arterberg. So I love how the film starts out with a history lesson. It talks about this Viking chieftain named Gunbrand the Grim, which, I mean, I don't know, the Grim, that doesn't sound too menacing. It just sounds like he's in a bad mood all the time, but it's like set in 1050. He's taking 20 ships from Norway. They're going to sack Normandy. They're, carnage everywhere. They're killing all these people. And they get to this abbey, and they're like, monks are saying, don't go in this room. They go in, there's no gold, but there's like this wolf pup. So they still kill everybody in the abbey. They take the wolf puck back. And let me just say that Gunbrand the Graham brought 20 ships. So, and because they make a point of this. And when I was rewatching this for this review, I kind of noted that. And when they bring the pup back, it says like they didn't realize they leashed the hound of hell. And they're they're sailing back to Norway, and all the Vikings on the ship are killed, and then the pup lands on Norway. This was my question that I asked. So what happened to the 19 other ships? Because I know it's a dumb thing, but it's like when you make a point that he took 20 ships to go and sack everything, and he brought one ship back and all those Vikings are dead. What happened? I don't feel like all those Vikings died. So that was just kind of like, again, not important, but still kind of like 19 ships is a lot. So you guys really aren't that great warriors if you lost like everyone in this to try and sack Normandy. I regress. Just wanted to point that out. Some history. It is now 1,000 years later. You see Thal, who is with her family, and I feel like it's Sweden, but maybe it's Oslo. I know that this girl that makes fun of her says she's the freak from Oslo, but I felt like she moved from Oslo to Sweden. Anyway, she's with her family. Her mom, definitely not her dad, and but it's like her mom's husband, and I can't tell if it's her stepsister or half sister or sister. Anyway, she's new in town. She's trying to make friends. She's a cute girl. She goes to meet up with some friends that are in the town. This kid, Jonas, seems like a nice guy, not bad. Other people are really douchey. There's definitely a girl who likes Jonas. She acts like a real sea bag to Tal, which it's like, wow, they just like really get into that bullying, like, and making fun of people just right away. Little Miss Ellen, who's the nasty girl at Tal, she wants to talk to Jonas. They go away. Tal's there like with these random people, and she's like, okie doke. So then she kind of looks to see where this guy who invited her is, and he's having this talk with this girl. All of a sudden, they're in the woods, and all of a sudden you hear this scream, and then this Ellen girl is like on the ground, covered in blood. Tal, warrior queen that she is, goes to try and help, see what's going on. She picks up Ellen, and while she does that, she gets knocked to the ground, and we realize that she's gotten bit. But then you also see Jonas, who's just covered in blood, up against this cement wall. So whatever it is that bit Tal drags Ellen away, which was a very good scene. It didn't show much, but it showed enough. And then Tal passes out. I forgot to mention that Tal's mom is a policewoman, so that is very important to the story. She comes, we find out that the Ellen girl is the mayor's daughter. It's a big deal for the town. Jonas is covered in blood, yet he didn't get bit, he didn't get scratched, he didn't anything, which I was a little confused about that, because obviously it seems like whatever attacked the girl also attacked him, but apparently not. But he's like covered in blood. And then Tal's mom comes. She tries to ask her what's going on. She's in shock. Apparently, they didn't do a very good job taking these kids to the hospital, because no one noticed that Tal's got a nasty ass bite on her shoulder that looks gross. I say that because the kids at school kind of make fun of her, which again, assholes. Why can't they this kid is brand new and it's already a jerk. She's already a jerk. So very quickly, we find that Tal is transforming. She's doing a little by little, not so much. And I love the way that they paced it. I think they did a very good juxtaposition of showing what Tal is going through, and then also showing her mom, who is like the head. She's not the sheriff, but she might as well be, because she obviously knows more than the sheriff does. I have to say, and I actually mentioned this to Chris, the cops on this one, look, kids, I've watched a lot of movies. One of the things I absolutely hate most of the time is that, when you have like a small town, somehow things get, let's let anyone into a crime scene, and, just let's stomp around everything. They did this by the book. Like, Tal's mom is awesome. She is like level-headed. She keeps the pace. She's like, okay, you do this. She like is a good shot. She's not firing all over the place, which thank you that you actually have some people who know how to shoot when there's a gun. And that is something you don't see. But, Tal's mom, they find Ellen, they show what is left of her. Chef's kiss to the practical effects. I thought they were fantastic. The sinew, the blood, just ripped flesh, like very well done. Very well done. And I liked how when you do see the actual werewolf, it is all CGI, no animals at all. Well, there's a dog, there's a family dog and stuff, but all the werewolves are CGI. Totally think that's fine. And I think it looks pretty damn good. There's a, of course, when there's some sort of werewolf movie or one of those, this is kind of old school that I liked about it. There's a guy who's in a Winnebago who's missing an arm, who knows what's going on, because this is the way the saga is going to end. It's a creature, and he kind of slips Tal's mom like a little case of silver bullets. Thank goodness he did, because when she's reloading, she puts one of the silver bullets in, and then pew, gets the werewolf. Unfortunately, the werewolf also attacked the sheriff, and Thal is already transforming into the werewolf. Now, I like what they've done with the film, because it also is showing like Thal's like becoming a woman. She like has her first kiss. You know, she's trying to go out on her own and doing this. And this is like, you know, she's transforming herself as from a young girl to a teenager, you know, and you know, a young woman, but also she's transforming into a werewolf. I like how they did that. And it's sad that, you know, her first kiss, if we're gonna spoil it, are we gonna spoil it? I don't know. Maybe.
And I wouldn't spoil the ending, no, but
Okay.
yeah, I mean a little bit here and there is fine, but just no, yeah, let's keep the ending to ourselves, and more of the detail of what happens to the characters. I mean,
Okay.
obviously, other than the girl who gets killed, that's fine. She was a
Yeah.
bitch.
She was a bitch. She was a real sea bag.
She deserved to die, like any of the characters we talked about in another movie, which we have a weird
Yes.
connection to. I Am Lisa.
It's like, let's just be nice. I just want people to try and be nice. That actually makes me like connect with them more if they die, rather than,
Uh,
oh, hey, you were a bitch, fine, you're dead. Anyway, Thal's first victim.
it's like
Very
characters on
sad.
Murder She Wrote that you want to see killed off or whatever, Jessica has to solve.
I felt bad for Thal, because not only was it first victim, but you know, many things that are going on. She tries to take the high road. She wants to get out of town. And then it's just, you know, pure carnage. And
Hmm.
while this is going on, she's having these like dreams that I thought were not necessarily a replica of American Werewolf in London,
I was
but
just about to say that.
yeah, it was very much a nod and I liked it. It's somewhat like that Ophelia kind of look. She's like floating. Each one kind of like becomes more and more intense. I mean, anytime you have a werewolf movie or any movie with some sort of creature, I'm gonna have to think of like other movies that have those same creatures. Like, I mean, I could definitely see some ginger snaps in this because the
Mm.
relationship between Thal and her sister is very, I don't, I mean, again, I think it's, they definitely live together, but I don't know if it's her sister, but it's a
Ginger
very
Snaps,
sweet,
by the way, one of my biggest celebrity crushes I got to meet. Catherine
very nice.
Isabel. Oh,
But uh, there's carnage on this bus, there's carnage in the square. All this time, Thal's mom is like really putting the pieces together. She's understanding what's going on and she's realizing like this is her daughter. Like, what do I do? I don't want to kill her, but obviously, I mean, this town is going to hell because half the people are getting eaten by my daughter. So, what's going to happen? During these scenes, though, man, she's just ripping jugulars out. She's like scraping up faces. Kudos to the movie for doing that. I thought, again, great practical effects and great, I thought, decent CGI.
hmm.
I thought this was a solid, yeah, I do. I think it's a solid film. I am in a
Is there
February
is there is it all CGI? Is there anything practical?
Oh no, with the when she's biting into people and stuff.
Yeah.
No, I think there's practical stuff with that. But I mean, the wolf is CGI.
Yeah, yeah, the
And
wolf is
wolf is
CGI,
like
unfortunately.
when she's like
That's the
when
only
she,
thing I slight it. I'm not a big fan of the CGI werewolf.
you know, I feel like after seeing RRR and how they used no animals in that and it was all CGI animals because they just want to try and get away from that, you know, to protect the animals and stuff. I think it's fine. This, believe me, I as much sci-fi channel stuff that I see, this CGI was actually pretty damn decent with this werewolf. But when you see Thal like or Tal like ripping people's throats and like the again like the flesh and the sinew just coming down her like as a wolf, but she's like chomping on people's like this part. I thought that looked good. I think looked really really solid. So this was a surprise movie for me on Netflix. I thought the performances were great. Again, I really love Liv, uh, who plays Thal's mom. I thought as a police officer who's you know in this position of authority, trying to also not only save her daughter, but also everyone in the town. I thought she did an amazing job. I love the fact that there's a scene where someone's trying to go in to see one of the corpses, and normally I mean, I can name almost a half a dozen movies where it's like, I need to see this person. It's like, and it's like they're ripped up like, ugh. And but
Mm.
they're like, no, this is an ongoing investigation. Like, we have to do our job. Like, thank you. Thank you for doing police work. Thank you. It may not be much, but it looks good.
I
Uh
was really surprised by the body count was as good as it was. I was like, oh my god,
yeah,
this is people are getting fucked.
yeah, it was high. It was really high. I
By
mean,
the way, speaking of fucked, not no sex at all in this movie. I mean, it's a teenage kind of werewolf movie, but so was Ginger Snaps, and that definitely had a hormonal kind of attitude about it. I mean, it's the metaphor of the transformation women go
yep.
through, stuff like that. I got it. But this movie, that, that kiss, that's it.
Yeah,
That's all we
it was
get.
very sweet. It was very innocent.
No nudity, none of
Like
that.
her
I was like shocked.
face, like when they kiss and how excited she is, and the moon comes out, and then it's like the hunger and the urge and like everything that she has to have. Like, she can't even control it, which again, it definitely a metaphor, for um sex and like people forming and stuff like that. But yeah, I think this is a solid film. I'm in a challenge group where during February we try and see like a movie for each letter, and this was my V.
Oh,
And I'm happy that I chose it because I don't feel like there's enough werewolf movies. I feel like they've kind of actually there have been a few werewolves within the past few years, and I think something of Wolf Creek.
yeah.
Uh
What about that one? Didn't we do the one with the silver teeth? No, it came out last year. I don't think we had a chance to review it. I'll find it and send it to you. I thought it was amazing. I thought it was really well done. It was like a Puritan period piece kind of werewolf movie. So it's set back in the pre-electricity days.
oh, okay.
Yeah, and it was really good. I was like, this movie. It was in theaters too. It was like, oh, well, there's nothing else to see. I'll see this. Like, oh, this was so cool. This is so good. Why is nobody talking about this movie? So I'll find it and send it to you.
Interesting. Yeah, and
Um,
another thing about this Viking Wolf, I feel like they sort of open the door to a sequel. I can see them, possibly doing a prequel. I feel like this has a number of possibilities that it could go on, and I'm happy with that. Again, I think it's a solid film, for horror, for practical effects, for CGI. Beautiful scenic shots, gorgeous cinematography, and solid direction. So yeah,
I'm
recommend it.
reminded.
Well
I'm
done.
reminded of the fact that we reviewed Violent Night, and Violent Night had more to do with Vikings than this movie did, and Viking is in the title.
That is true. It did.
By the
It did.
way, you're not a gamer, right? No video games in your life. Okay, not even the system. But if you get a chance, you could probably watch all the cutscenes. And if you like David Arquette and Ted Raimi, I highly recommend watching the cutscenes for a game called The Quarry. It's right up your alley with this movie. It is a suspenseful murder mystery. You might see some gameplay as well. I don't think the gameplay is necessary. I think there's probably somebody put all the cutscenes together on YouTube. But The Quarry is a interesting kind of creature film that is definitely worth checking out. And again, has Ted Raimi and David Arquette and Lance Henriksen in it, and a couple others that are kind of interesting, with some counselor actors who I didn't really recognize from their CGI motion caption, but you definitely recognize again Lance Henriksen, David Arquette, and Ted Raimi.
Okay.
Right up the alley of this kind of film. Just to not overly spoil it. So, but yeah, this is on Netflix. Check it out. God, if they did more with this story, I don't think they will. I think this is pretty standalone. But I would like to see more from these filmmakers if they want to
Yeah.
give their hands into something else. It's always interesting to see a creature film like this come out of someplace. We seem to hold the what's the word I'm looking for? We seem to hold the trophy on werewolves, vampires, and other kind of things here, but every once in a while we get something different from the overseas people that breaks through, which is really nice. So definitely check out Viking Wolf. It's it behind me. That poster kind of reveals a little bit of the plot of the movie based on the morphing of the face of the female character in the werewolf, so it's not too much of a spoiler that we gave it away.
Oh, real quick. This was something that I'd have to look into regarding the actress, but the actress who plays Thal, I didn't notice this in the beginning, and I even watched it again, but and I don't know if this is actually her or if this is when she gets bit, but it's very subtle. Did you notice that she has one blue eye and one
Mhm.
hazel eye?
Yeah, that's
Like,
how the things get identified, let's just say later on.
mm, yeah, because that I thought was very, very cool. It's subtle, but not, but I noticed it like the second time. I was like, oh, wow. Like, look at her eyes. Like, that's incredible. I don't know. I feel like if they could possibly do a prequel to this, because I would really like to see what the story is about that like wolf pup that got locked away in that abbey and where those monks got it and stuff like that, and how
Mhm.
maybe they were trying to kill it, and then all of a sudden the Vikings come in and lose 19 ships, but they take that wolf pup. I don't know. I'm really bothered about the 19 ships. Where did they go? Why do you say you have 20 and then like one has the pup and everyone dies? Where's the rest of them? Not
Correct.
good, Vikings. Not a good look.
Check out the rest of the reviews here on the Radio Horror YouTube channel. We're going to have some interesting retro reviews coming up more later on in the year, a couple of which I messaged Katie about, such as other creatures of the night that we will get to, and one Katie said that is 15 years old that we should definitely talk about, plus whatever else is coming out in cinema. So it'll be here, there, and everywhere. But check out the Blonde in Front on Facebook. Check me out on Twitter at ChristySAV. Send us an email at radiohorror@gmail.com. And I am not covering werewolves on anything else that I'm covering right now, thankfully. So, but someone recommended I should do She-Wolf of London, and I said yes, I will do the first season, but I will never watch the second season. Even the actress who was in that agrees it was not good. So, but check out my review with the actress from She-Wolf of London here on the Radio Horror YouTube channel if you want more werewolf content. Thank you, everyone.